It seems like more and more every year we get a mid-major draft star, whether that's Jalen Williams and David Roddy or a Bones Highland, and though the stock rise usually happens more gradually, the Maxwell Lewis hype train is arriving much earlier, though it is very. Max is a 6'7" athletic wing, pretty much doing it all and shooting ungodly splits from all over the floor early in the season for Pepperdine, and if you've gotten a chance to watch him, it's very clear the buzz around his name is only going to grow as the season progresses. Now we'll start in the area Max has been extremely effective and has big time upside, and that is his scoring. He's not someone who's going to ISO you or break you down to death, but he's got a good first step. He's quick with his moves, creative, and a bit shiftier than you might expect. And even in the UCLA game that was lopsided, he still had Jaime Jaquez leaning a few times, who I think we'd all agree is a pro in some regard. He's able to get buckets in a variety of ways, whether it's attacking closeouts and getting all the way to the rim and converting at a high rate, pulling up from the mid-range, or even posting up and using his savvy there. He's really shown a lot so far, and it's been within the flow of the offense.
Pepperdine's just 6, and the Waves have converted that into 20 points. Northern Arizona with none off the Waves miscues. The Waves, nice save by Malik Moore as he went over the chair, and the Waves forced the turnover. That's 5 for Northern Arizona. Lewis dribbling all the way and laid up Mike Mitchell, and being guarded by McCoy inside to Lewis underneath.
He's a high-level three-point shooter who's done it both off the catch and off the dribble. He's currently making half of all the threes he takes, which is wild when you put it like that, and I can see this being an elite skill for him in the future. He's got a very fluid one-motion shot, and though the release point is a little lower, it's still effective. He's loved getting to those step backs or the jab pickups. And when you look at the balance, the footwork, and the speed that he has, you can see the potential for him to make it happen off movement some more in the future as well.
Taking care of the ball, and they forced some turnovers here in the second half. 3 already. Lewis outside, 3-pointer. Quarter down the floor, head to Basham. Kick it back out to Lewis. 3-point shot is good. They've had a great effort tonight. They've given back. Pepperdine's had to work for this game tonight. This is Lewis outside.
Max has also been lights out in transition. He's currently in the top 20 in points per possession, volume adjusted, and that's partially due to Pepperdine being consistently one of the fastest and highest paced teams in the country, but he definitely adds to that. And he's also much more explosive and athletic than I've always expected. He routinely catches me off guard with some of the plays he'll make in traffic off 2 feet, off 1 foot. I'm not saying that he looks unathletic or anything, but for a wiry guy like him, I don't expect it to look like that, kind of in the same way I felt and still feel about Trey Murphy. He's far from great here yet, but he's improved significantly as a passer from last year, and just in terms of his confidence with the basketball. He makes quick decisions. He's shown the ability to make solid reads going baseline and on high and slot pick and rolls. And again, it's not like part-time point guard stuff or anything like that. But the year-over-year improvement so far, matched with just being unselfish, bodes well for him going forward and being able to make plays in a variety of situations.
One set up by the Hornets. Let's take a look at it. Basham alone. He can also shoot the 3. This is Moore. Left side to Lewis. Back to Porter. There it is. 3-point shot is good.
Now defensively, Max has really stood out, especially on the ball. At 6'7", he's able to use what's a high level of lateral quickness and length to stick with all types of players. We've seen him navigate screens at an elite level at times and really stifle guys at the point of attack. And when someone does that consistently at that size, that's always going to get you a lot of fans among front offices.
Shot clock now. Harris gets some space again. Tough shot over.
Anthony does have possession. Back in the shot clock. 9-7 Rice down the lane. This is Evie. Ball knocked.
He's gotten better at playing mistake-free basketball on this end and staying solid instead of gambling or being thirsty to make something happen, and it's made him much more consistent and effective, but he still showed off his ability to get deflections and what I like to call mellows in timing and swatting the ball away, one pass away, and help. And overall, he's displayed a good effort level. He's been beat and relaxed a few times, but he generally stays in plays, and if he can continue to show and prove what he can do on this end, I think the sky is the limit for him as a player. The tools are there for him to be a positive defender in the NBA, and you mix that with his scoring ability and you start to wonder just why and how he's been unranked and in the 50s on certain mock sim boards to this point. Now honestly, this going forward section has been about as difficult to put together as any other prospect. Max has just been that good to this point, and everything I try to point out here or there just feels more like nitpicking than it does a substantial area that's going to change things. I think he still has a little of the errant pass gene in there. There are times where the accuracy leaves more to be desired, and while averaging about 2.5 turnovers with a turnover percentage of 19 isn't something that's super concerning, that could still come down. The overall decision making has been improved, so it's hard to say too much there. I do think he could get to the line with more regularity. He shot about 3 a game, and that's obviously going to take him to the next level offensively if that goes up. It's not something that you necessarily need to see him really improve upon to change his stock or how you view him as a player, but let's say he starts getting there 5, 6, 7 times a game down the stretch, we start having another discussion. But right now it's been fine for what he does and what I think he can do well at the next level. And yeah, you just kind of want to see how he adjusts to being number 1 on the scouting report every single night. But as you can see, I'm really grasping for straws here. That's not to say he's been perfect or without flaws in every game. He's still gotten into a little too much foul trouble in a few of them, but it's not a lot there, and the only thing that you could really point to is who he's playing against. But that leads us into the best matchups, and those left on the schedule obviously come against Gonzaga. The Julian Strawther matchup specifically should be one that he's keyed in on, as Strawther is another high-level draft candidate with similar measurables to him. Even though Pepperdine is kinda outclassed as a team at the moment, it should still be interesting, and they competed with them even last year. Outside of that, there are some individuals you want to see him go against, but nothing else really sticks out much as a game that could, tell us something new about him or be like a big stage. If you know, you definitely know, but to others that might not, projecting him as a potential lottery pick might sound crazy right now, but I think he's worthy, and it'll likely make more sense as time passes. I don't know just how high he could climb, but if we fast forward and say he's, the 10th pick in the draft, that wouldn't shock me at all. I just think 6'7" wings who are plus athletes can shoot it at this level, score from all 3 levels, and defend in multiple spots without needing high usage. It makes too much sense not to be highly valued come June. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and comment down below what you think of Maxwell Lewis's game. As always, I'm Keandre, this is Hoop Intellect. Until next time, I'm out.
Max Lewis tonight, a career-high 30 for him. He was happy about it after the game. We're going to talk to him in just a sec, too. Speak to me about his year 1 to year 2 growth.
It's, in all my years of coaching, 26 years as a head coach, I don't know if I've seen a transformation like that. He was talented when he walked in the door. You watch him play, but to his credit, he really studied the game, became a student of the game, and really got himself better. And to give him all the credit because he's a hard worker. He watched a lot of film, and he tried to do the right thing. And as a result, it's paid off for him this year so far.